Well, as I have said before, America is a republic, and so I have no problems if imaginary democracy dies. Media outlets are trying to hype up the bird flu, just like they hyped up Russia collusion. The difference is that the bird flu was not created by Clinton. As far as we know, America is just fine, for the first time in years. So in other words, people who broke into America and committed violent crimes while inside is somehow exactly the same thing as an ethnic cleansing. America has legal ports of entry, and those who came legally are not deported. Something tells me that Mr. Danziger would not have made this cartoon about Obama, the so-called deporter-in-chief, because it is only a crisis if a Republican does it. You could change the name here, and it would be more accurate, such as Klaus Schwab, or Flip-Flop Fauci, or Bill Gates, or George Soros. In other words, liberals love rich people with whom they agree. Other than that, all rich people are evil. Let me break Mr. Bowling's gibberish down a bit. So many false comparisons, so little time. Putin warned that he would invade if Ukraine tried to join NATO. And then they tried to join NATO. President Trump does not object to people coming into America. They can just come in legally. Not that the average liberal can tell the difference. Actually, it was massive spending that made the situation worse. Once people were free to spend their own money after the war, then the golden age of prosperity of the 1950s occurred. Chaotically is an interesting way to describe it. When people who do nothing get fired, or those who are swindling the taxpayer get fired, that is very different. Mr. Bowling just loves his gibberish. How is someone who wants to limit government an oligarch? So President Trump both wants to dismantle the government and be an oligarch. How is that possible? Because standing for America rather than the deep state is such a radical concept. Also, Bezos is reading the room. People are tired of going to these old school outlets and just hearing liberal propaganda. How about just being a journalist and reporting facts? America has no responsibility to any country other than America. Germany has no responsibility to any country other than Germany. Mexico has no responsibility to any country other than Mexico. If all of these other Western countries took on freedom, maybe they could go defend Ukraine. They can join Britain in sending soldiers to fight another country's war. He knows that Zelensky ruined everything for himself. Now both of them can continue the war much longer. Zelensky got to use this war to stay in power, just like Putin. He kicked out Zelensky because he could not even agree to a ceasefire. A ceasefire which would have made ending the war easier. War should be applauding Zelensky. President Trump tried to negotiate peace. But if the war ended, Zelensky could be voted out. Grovel. That is an interesting word. More acceptable words include, but are in no way limited to, respect, appreciation, consideration, recognition, courtesy, humility, abasement, meekness, restraint, peace, truce, armistice, cessation, silence, reticence, quiet, and reserve. All infinitely more accurate, and words that dictator Zelensky will never put into practice.